easy for lots of people today. Stewart Welch joins us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Sarah.
Let's talk about this subject because a lot of people have fear, particularly in this climate, about retirement.
You know, it's kind of interesting. They do have fear about it, but I think one of the big problems we see is that people that have saved enough money for retirement, they've spent all of their life putting money into the bucket. And when it turns to retirement, you're actually supposed to take money out of the bucket. And they find that a really tough habit to build.
How so?
It just because their whole mindset is I got to keep putting money in the bucket, and when they finally get to retirement where they're technically supposed to start taking it out, they just can't change the habit of putting money in the bucket. They don't want to take it out.
Well, sometimes maybe the headlines may add to that a little bit.
They can add to that, and so you know, it's how do you? What'll happen is if they don't change that habit, they'll kind of live their retirement life like this, and they end up dying with a big pile of money, and they never really enjoy the fruits of their years and years and years of labor.
Oh, we're supposed to enjoy some of it. Okay, let's talk about it. You talk. First thing on your list, you say start a bucket list, right?
You know, you hear about the bucket list, but the bucket list is actually a really good idea because what it does is it forces you to say, well, if I had all the money in the world and it wasn't my money, what would I do? What is a list of things that I would do? And just have some fun with it. Have some things, you know, where would you travel? What would you do? What would you own? And start that bucket list, and it helps you think about that transition.
Run a retirement cash flow. What does that mean?
Cash flow analysis is just take a minute and figure out how much money you got. What are your sources of money? Social Security, your investments, and then take a look at your expenses and see how they match up.
Decide on an appropriate annual withdrawal rate.
So you've got Social Security, you know that money's going to be coming in steady. You may have a pension, but you're also going to have a bucket of investment money. And how much money can you afford to take out of that? And the rule of thumb would be if you're in your 60s, you could take 4%. If you're in your 70s, you could take 5%. If you're in your 80s, you could take 6 to 7%. All
right, Stuart, we're out of time, but quickly I want to tell people you also have buy long-term care insurance and then develop a 12-month spending plan. They can get more information from you on this, can't they?
Anytime.
All right. Thank you so much, Stuart, for joining us. We're out of time, but let's check in now with